you will see the option to compare means. Go down to independent samples t-test from there. And we need to first of all select our grouping variable. So what do we want to know? Well, we want to know whether students on the confidence building course do better on the academic confidence scale than those who did the math skills course. First of all, we want to check that before they undertook these courses, there was no differences in their academic confidence. We need to be sure that our two groups contained a random sample of subjects. So we'd want to make sure that actually there's no difference at time 1. But then we are expecting a difference at time 2. So we're going to conduct two independent samples t-tests here. The first one, we want to be sure that there's actually no difference in their scores on the academic confidence scale at time 1. And the second test, we want to see a difference. We're in fact expecting that the students who undertook the confidence building course are going to be getting higher results on the academic confidence scale than those who undertook the math skills training. So let's select our grouping variable. This is the type of class, whether they took math skills or confidence building training. And we coded those two classes, classes 1 and 2. We then choose confidence time 1 from our list and confidence time 2. And this means that it will conduct two independent samples t-test. Press OK and you will have an output window. The first table here shows you the mean scores for students in the two classes at time 1 and time 2, and you can see here that these means are fairly similar, so it looks like there wasn't a difference at time 1, which is as we expected. At time 2, however, it looks as though those students in the confidence building course did better on the academic confidence scale than those on the math skills course. But to be sure about that, we need to look at our statistics. The first thing we do is look at the Levene's test for equality of variances. It's important that a t-test is used on data that has equal variances in the two groups that we're comparing. That means that the way in which each student varies from the mean needs to be the same in the math skills course as it is in the confidence building course. In other words, the groups need to be homogeneous in terms of their variances. This statistic tests whether there's a difference, and so we want it to be non-significant. In other words, we want the sig value to be greater than 0.05, and that is the case here. This is our p-value for the test of whether there was a difference at time 1, and you can see that that is above the level of 0.05. So we wouldn't report any of these numbers in our write-up of this piece of work. We would simply say that there was no significant difference between students on the math skills course and those on the confidence building group before they even undertook these courses. This is a statistic that we do want to report, but we want to report it as a one-tailed statistic, because a one-tailed p-value rather, because we had a prediction about which group was going to do better, and that prediction from these mean values is true. So the probability here then would be p equals 0.034 instead of 0.067. So here we would report t equals minus 1.9, degrees of freedom equals 28, p equals 0.034, or you could just say p is less than 0.05, and we can conclude that there was indeed a difference in their academic confidence scores at time 2. So it's your turn to have a go at conducting a t-test, two independent samples t-tests. So grab a pen and make a note of the hypotheses. The first hypothesis is that students in the confidence building course continue to have higher levels of confidence 3 months later in comparison with students on the math skills course. So here you're using this data, confidence 3. The second hypothesis is that students in the confidence building course do better in the exam than students on the math skills course, and this is your exam results here. So good luck. I look forward to receiving your results by email soon.